We loaded up the truck and headed out for civilization, but first we had to drive the most winding road in the whole wide world.
We decided to take another one of my shortcuts and ended up on some super duper giant sacks of cake flour. Cake flour is very fine, so is this silt. She dared me to say this.
Fourth day. So we have one more night of camping tonight, and then tomorrow night is going to be the 4th of July, or tomorrow will be the 4th of July. And we are back on pavement, heading back towards Flagstaff now?
Yeah, sort of. So we came out from SB Point this morning. That's where we camped last night. Awesome spot, great view. And then we made our way on some dirt roads over to Fredonia, Arizona, kind of middle of nowhere, and aired up the tires. And Kevin's got to get back to his family tonight. So we're going to head to Flagstaff area, but not really into Flagstaff, I don't think, unless maybe grab some food there or something. And then we're going to camp somewhere near there, maybe the Cinders or up on Mount Eldon. There's a lot of nice high terrain because it's pretty hot out. So right now we're at Jacob's Lake, hence all the pine trees. So we're at 8,000 or 9,000 feet, something like that here. But we're going to be heading back down into reservation land, Lee's Ferry, some pretty hot desert terrain. So for tonight, we just want to make sure we get back up in elevation to camp before heading home back to Phoenix tomorrow.
Right down there, maybe we'll see as we come around, is where we turn up first.
Yep, so we finished our loop, at least this part of the loop. We're not finishing the trip yet. I refuse to go back to society. But yeah, this is a fun motorcycle road, and we're gonna go right along. Those are the Vermilion Cliffs you're looking at right there. Got a cycling group on a really hot day riding. And then the Grand Canyon is right off to our right. So you can't quite see it, but there's some good dirt roads.
A lot of insane people in this part of the state
that head right out to the canyon itself.
Yeah, so when we come around this corner, we should see the road that we first
couldn't imagine riding a bike up this hill in July. No, thank you.
It'd be hilarious if this was it.
It's not like the same markings on the plane on it, so. I thought it had like the Canyon something adventures on it.
Oh, maybe.
And now we're back on the road.
The beautiful, what is it called? Navajo Bridge? I think it is.
Oh, one that I missed filming on the way.
There you go.
I'll film it this
you
time.
have to film across.
Hey Tim, that's the plane that was at
Maybe it was.
Bar 10 yesterday.
That's what I was just thinking.
It's the Colorado River. Down there. Look what I found. It's my name. After searching and searching, we finally found our perfect spot, and just before sunset too. So we settled in for the night with some whiskey and our favorite Coulter Wall music. It was a good last night.
Morning. This is day 5 of our North Rim trip, and yeah, these are just a little something we built to be able to hold our stove. Pretty simple, easier than making a whole table. We are overlooking Sedona right now in Secret Mountain Wilderness, so unfortunately, it's that day where you gotta head home. But so yesterday we decided to kind of get ourselves a little bit closer to Arizona so we don't have as bad a drive today. So we came back, got all the way to Flagstaff. Kevin had to go home, so we said goodbye to him, and then we started exploring up here. And this area is beautiful. I've really not spent much time up here in the Secret Mountain Wilderness area. This was probably the wrong weekend to come up here just because there's people camping all over, tons of trash by the road. So in our typical fashion, we just kept driving and driving and driving until the road got rough and the people disappeared. And then the spot we ended up finding is pretty nice. So in the end, it ended up being a pretty good spot, but it just took a little extra effort to get over here. So we are going to make some breakfast burritos and some coffee, if I can get this out here, and then head down the hill today. So it's been an epic trip. It's never enough time. You could spend months on the North Rim. So.
Dirt for the trip probably, but some pretty cool views still.
We camped right up there, just off out of the frame, above Sedona, looking down on it last night. It was cool.
Right here.
Yep. Yeah. One of those.
This looks horrible.
Yeah.
Absolutely horrible.
If you go to Sedona, only come on a weekday. Now this is a weekday, but it's 4th of July, so it's horrible. But if you're gonna come, it's amazing. It's totally worth it. But come on a weekday, or come in the wrong time of year. Come in winter, or like sort of when it's starting to get cold. And most people come here to sit in the water and jump in Oak Creek. But come up here and mountain bike anytime that it's not the popular season. Totally worth it. Right now, zoo. Beautiful though.
It is. It's always really, really pretty. That's why there's so many people, but
Hey, welcome to Broken Arrow Trail. If you look ahead, we'll try and get it on the GoPro as well. This is just a little tiny gatekeeper. If you can't make it over this little curb-sized thing, you definitely don't want to try and do Broken Arrow Trail. It's really just like going up a sort of large curb. So here we go. Hopefully it's not too crowded. You can see rental quads and things like that. If you're gonna do Broken Arrow, I'd try and do it in the morning. I avoid it and haven't done it in a few years just because it is one of the most popular trails in the country, let alone Arizona. We'll see if we can get lucky though. It's 4th of July morning, so we're not really sure what we're in for as far as people, but it is only 10 a.m., so fingers crossed. So when you're doing Broken Arrow Trail, a lot of these trails are one way. So look at the different trail signs. We're passing one right here. Let's see, here's an arrow. If you can see that, just this little metal arrow down here, that's just letting you know that's the way you should be going if you're heading that direction. And that just keeps you out of having to back up so many times. A lot of the sections though are two-way traffic and they're only one lane. So be prepared to practice backing up skills pretty often. We've had to back up 3 times so far, and we're only a couple hundred yards into the trail. It's really, and that's not even extra busy, I wouldn't say. That's pretty normal. But there are a lot of pullouts, so at least when you do need to pull out, speaking of which I need to right now, you don't have to go back too far. So let's reverse a bit here. obstacle on the trail. And so once you get to the stairs, if it's raining, it can be a bit terrifying because you're going to slide off each step, assuming it's dry like it is today. It's not too bad, but there are a series of steps where you're already tilted down, so you're going to have to take your time.
Coming up.
Yeah.
This is where everything started going downhill for me. Literally, I fell down the hill. And although the GoPro ran out of space and didn't capture it, I fell several more times on my way down. Once I got down, I realized that I had done some serious damage to the camera, as you can see. Tim and Goose made it down and made it look much more graceful than I did. So, courtesy of my clumsiness, here is the slightly blurry descent. We obviously are back on pavement now and back into the tourist traffic. That's Broken Arrow Trail. So our camera did not survive it. Kay is just fine. She had a nice spill going down that. That shows you how steep it is. So I don't know if the GoPro was still running or not. If not, my apologies. But we went down the step stairs, and that's sort of the toughest thing on Broken Arrow. It's not tough in the sense that it's downhill, so any truck can make it. But it's definitely the scariest bit because your speed can get going, or if it's wet, I've been in it when it's wet, you slide off each step. So just take it very slow when you're going down the stair steps, and keep in mind that some people want to try and go up them to prove that their truck can make it. So keep an eye out for somebody trying to come up the hill before you go down. We actually had somebody trying to do that. So other than that, that's pretty much Broken Arrow Trail. It's not that difficult. It's more of a ground clearance thing where when you run up to a rock, to make sure that your bumper's not going to run into the ground, or when you drop off a ledge, that you do it controlled and slowly with left foot braking so your bumper doesn't smash into it. But as far as traction, you can see there's not a whole lot of articulation on the trail unless you choose to find little obstacles to do that on. But hope you enjoyed it. That's Broken Arrow Trail, and that's the end of our North Rim trip. So time to head back into real life. Thanks for joining us. If you enjoy what we do, subscribe and share, and we'll see you next time.